My name is Sanan. I've spent over a decade working in data and analytics, partnering with teams to answer some of the most important questions that business face. What actually drives performance, and how do we measure impact with confidence? Throughout my career, I've worked on questions like what's truly driving conversions? How do we design tests so that the results are statistically sound and reliable? And how do we confidently choose the right test and control market? Over time, I've realized that while the questions were consistent, the process to answer these questions was often slow, manual, fragmented, or expensive. So I started building tools. These tools make it faster to go from raw data to clear answers. And the idea is simple. You upload your data, select a few configuration settings, and the tool doesn't just run the analysis, it tells you what the result exactly means. Today, all of these tools live together in one place, the MeleWorks apps platform. I'm excited to walk you through them. So let's jump right in. Now let's walk through the tools. On the left-hand side, you'll see the full set of tools available in the platform. I'll go through each one and explain what it does and how to use it. But before we jump into them, there are two things that apply to every tool. First, each tool comes with a template that shows you exactly how your data should be structured before uploading. So you are never guessing what format is expected. Second, everything runs locally within your session. There is no backend storage of your data. What that means is that your data is not saved on the platform. Nothing is stored after you close the session. And if you want to keep your results, you'll need to download them before exiting. So you can safely upload and work with your data knowing it stays fully within your control. So the first tool here is the growth driver analysis. And really the question this answers is what's actually driving performance? This is usually where people start, because if you don't know what's driving your KPI, whether your KPI is revenue, conversions, or anything else, it's very hard to make good decisions. So what this tool does is help you break that down. You upload your dataset using the template, select your KPI, and define the potential drivers you want to test. From there, the tool runs the analysis and show you which factors are actually impacting performance, which ones aren't, and where you are starting to see diminishing returns. So instead of guessing, you get a much clearer picture of what's really moving the needle. Next is incrementality measurement. And the question here is, did this actually cause an impact? Because a lot of times something looks like it worked, but it might have happened anyways. So this tool helps you isolate the true effect. You upload your test and control data, define your test periods, and the tool estimates what would have happened without the intervention. Then it compares that to what actually happened. So what you get here is true lift, statistical significance, and a clear answer to whether the change actually worked. The third tool is the channel contribution tool. And this answers the question which channels actually deserve credit. Most attribution models are a bit too simplistic. In reality, channels don't operate independently, they influence each other. So this tool looks at that interaction. You upload your channel level data and it analyzes how each channel contributes to the overall outcome. So instead of over-crediting one channel or underestimating another, you get a more balanced and realistic view. This makes a big difference when you are deciding where to allocate budget. Next is the Experiment Design Studio, and this answers, how do I design a test I can actually trust? One of the biggest issues with experiments is that they are often underpowered. they don't run long enough, or they don't have enough data to detect meaningful change. So this tool helps you avoid that. You input your baseline metrics, define your desired confidence level and the lift you want to detect, and it calculates how long your test should run, how much data you need, and whether the test is even feasible. So you can set things up properly before launching and spending money into the test. Then we have a market match and test design tool. And the question this tool helps you answer is, where should I run my test? Because even with a good design, choosing the wrong market can completely skew your results. So this tool helps you find the strong test and control markets that you need for your experiment. So you upload your market level data and it evaluates similarity across markets and recommends the best pairings. So your experiment is balanced and your results are much more reliable this way. And finally, the Dashboard Builder Pro. And this tool helps you answer the question, how do I clearly communicate what we found? Because even if the analysis is strong, it still needs to be presented clearly. This tool helps you take your outputs and turn them into clean dashboard, structured summaries, and decision-ready visual, so you can quickly share insight with stakeholders without building everything from scratch. So each of these tools answer a different question, but together they form a complete workflow, from understanding what's driving performance to designing and running tests to measuring impact and ultimately communicating results. And the goal is really simple, to help you move faster from data to insight to decision.